In this video, I'm going to be explaining the 3 stages for overcoming nice guy syndrome. So if you clicked on the video, I would assume you already know what this is, but I'll give you a brief explanation for how I understand it. Nice guy syndrome is a type of character or personality type that develops in a lot of men. It develops from unmet childhood needs. We could also say it's a response to trauma. So a lot of young boys or males often don't get their needs met. This could be because their father was absent, abusive, drunk, or just not really caring. Or maybe the mother was critical or overprotective or didn't nurture them in the right way. Whatever happened, this young male didn't get his basic needs met. And because of that, he now develops a certain type of character, which we call the nice guy syndrome. And it's quite interesting because we see this a lot. And I think we're seeing this more and more, actually. It's an inauthentic way of being. And it's going to make you very, very unhappy. I'm going to share with you some of the character traits that you'll see in a nice guy. Some of these traits, the most popular ones, are things like people-pleasing behavior or approval-seeking. You're always trying to please people because you've got unmet needs. You're afraid to offend anybody because you need their approval. Maybe you didn't get approval when you needed it growing up, so now you're desperate for it from other people. That might be from work colleagues or friends or romantic partners, whatever. You're still trying to get them basic needs met. And because of that, you've developed these unhealthy characteristics. Some other ones could be you have weak boundaries, you're afraid to stand up to people, again, because you're afraid of being disapproved of, right? If you stand up to someone, you're going to piss them off in some sense, and you're afraid of pissing people off because that'll make you feel like, oh, that person does not like me. And that's the worst thing that triggers them childhood wounds. Furthermore, you may be afraid to move towards the things that you want in life because moving towards the things that you want means you might have to step on people's toes, not directly, but indirectly. And it just creates a lot of uncomfortableness. You become a shell of who you ought to be. And it's a very, very miserable way to live. Thankfully, there's a way out. So I'm going to share these 3 stages with you. Where I found the solution for this problem is in the book The Way of the Superior Man by David Data, popular book. And there's a basic idea in this book, right? We're just going to use this basic idea. And what he says is that as a man, your job is to penetrate the world, penetrate the universe. You're here to penetrate. Obviously, he takes this from the sexual act, the man penetrates. So I know it sounds a bit funny, but the way out with this is you understand that your role as a man is to penetrate the world. And you do this in 3 stages. So the first stage, and I suggest you follow these stages in order, because if you went straight to stage 3, as you're going to find out, it's going to be too much for a nice guy. So the first stage is being. Now, if you identify as a nice guy, you might not feel comfortable just being, okay? Maybe it's in social situations or at work or around friends or wherever. You just don't feel comfortable being yourself. This is the first level you need to work on. When you are in these sorts of situations, obviously you need to bring enough awareness to catch what's going on. Most people aren't even conscious that they're not comfortable where they are. They automatically just go unconscious and start people pleasing or approval seeking or not standing up for themselves, not being direct. They just automatically go into these behaviors. Your job at stage 1 is just to catch when are there moments that you don't feel comfortable just being yourself. This is the level you need to work at. It's quite a spiritual level. It's just I am. You are here on this planet. So you have a right to be here. You should not feel ashamed of just being where you are. But the nice guy has a lot of negative emotion. Things like shame, guilt, fear. Some of the core emotions. So just get comfortable being where you are. Work on this. Lean into the discomfort. Don't even feel you have to say anything. I just want you to get comfortable being where you are. Working with the negative emotions that come up, leaning into them, just getting used to them. Slowly, you'll start to process them. And that will lead you to more comfort in the moment. Obviously, you can practice things like meditation or anything that helps you be more present, like mindfulness. And then take that into the world and just practice being okay where you are. Stage 2 is expressing. So this is the next level. When you become comfortable just being where you are, now you penetrate the world through your expression, self-expression. Obviously, verbally, probably being the hardest one, authentic expression. This means you don't say something because you want somebody to like you, or you're using some type of manipulative way of getting your needs met, because this is what all nice guys are doing. They're still trying to get them childhood needs met in unhealthy ways. No, when you start to express yourself authentically, you'll be more clear, more direct, and more assertive. This is going to be uncomfortable for a nice guy, it's potentially going to offend somebody. Even though you're not essentially trying to offend someone, we live in a world where we step on each other's toes, right? And there's no way around that. And just because you authentically express yourself, you cannot be apologizing for that, or you'll never break free of this. So this is the important second step. Get comfortable speaking authentically. Just like not saying things because you think it's cool or because people will like you, but genuinely just speaking your truth, even if it's something basic. It's better that you start with something basic, and eventually you'll start to tap into your authentic voice. But it's going to take work. It's going to be scary. You're probably going to be very self-conscious. Like I said with step 1, when a lot of these uncomfortable emotions come up, just feel them, lean into them, and just try to be authentic as you can. I know this might be a bit difficult, but the more you practice just being comfortable, this part will move on and develop naturally. And then the third stage is obviously a step further. It's becoming. So you now start to really step out into the world and move towards the things that you want directly. So you can see how the levels of penetration are getting stronger and stronger. I know that sounds quite funny, but yeah, for you to become or move towards what you want, now you're making waves, now you're making moves, now you're being noticed. This person is moving. This person is making a difference. And as a nice guy, that will potentially make you feel very, very uncomfortable, because people might be judging you. People might not like what you're doing. You might be pissing people off. It's going to happen. But if you did stage 1 and stage 2, you will be able to tap into this much higher level of masculine energy, which is essentially just forward moving. I'm going to directly move towards what I want. Respectfully, of course, but directly. Whereas the nice guy might try to get his needs met indirectly. He might be too nice to a girl he's attracted to because he thinks if he's nice to her, she'll date him or she'll give him what he wants. But as we know, nice guys come last. They don't win because it's kind of manipulative. They're not being authentic. Practice becoming once you've got level 1 and level 2 down. And what will happen when you start to live this way, not only will you start to become more authentically you will actually start to feel better about yourself. Why do they say being authentic is the best thing? Is because it feels good. You actually begin to feel low grade pleasure just being yourself. And this begins to bleed into everything you do, the way you carry yourself, your body language, the way that you speak, the way that you move, just like micro mannerisms, everything shifts. Your energy shifts when you're being authentic. And when your energy shifts and you're not ashamed or you're not scared, you start to attract better things to you. Life just starts to change. Life takes on a different trajectory because you changed your energy. But you can't change your energy until you tap into who you really are. And for a nice guy, he's got to first find out that a lot of the traits he's got, these people pleasing and letting people walk all over him, that is not authentically who you are. But you can't break free of that until you follow these 3 stages. So again, stage 1, practice being comfortable wherever you are. Penetrate the space with your energy. You can even visualize this. I'm going to express myself authentically. If I've got nothing cool to say, it's fine. I'm just going to say whatever feels right in that moment. It's going to take practice if you're not used to it. Stage 3, I'm going to move towards what I want without shame, without fear, without guilt. I'm moving toward it directly. I'm penetrating as much as I can. I'm going to penetrate the world, the universe with my presence. I am here to penetrate the world. Okay? So I hope this helped you out. This is the way out of this nice guy syndrome. It will take some time, obviously, because you've probably had this personality trait for decades. But if you just work through the levels like I've said, gradually you'll get to where you need to be. So that is everything I've got to talk about here today. If you enjoyed it, if you could please go ahead, give it a like, share, subscribe. Really helps me out. But until next time, God bless.